Yes. So let me call upon the 13th presenter, okay, for our session, for our room here, with the paper ID of IN22-016, okay, with the title "An Analysis of Student Performance Through a Web-Based Intelligent Tutoring System in Automata." So it's maybe it's a Dr. Christian Macaraig Baña from AMA Computer College, Makati, University of the City of Muntinlupa, Philippines. So I call upon Dr. Christian.
Yes, hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So
Afternoon.
can you see my screen now?
Yes. Yes, very clear.
Okay, thank you. So by the way, my name is Christian Baña. I'm currently connected at the University of the City of Muntinlupa, and I'm going to discuss to you all about the analysis of student performance through the intelligent tutoring system or web-based intelligent tutoring system in Automata. Okay, so for the introduction, educational data mining or EDM represent a study area regarding by way of claiming of information mining, machine learning, and approach to data produced from educational settings. Example is the intelligent tutoring frameworks. Educational data mining alludes to strategies, instruments, and do inquiries about aiming for mechanically borrow out meaning from huge stores of information produced or connected to people's information exercises in educational environment. For the intelligent tutoring frameworks, record information each time a learner submits a solution to a problem. They may collect the time of the compliance, whether or not the arrangement matches the anticipated solution. So the sum of the time that has passed since the final compliance, the order in which arrangement components were entered into the interface, and the accuracy of this information is such that indeed a very brief session with a computer-based learning setting may deliver an expensive sum of movement information for examination. Okay, so when it comes to the video sports competition, being Generation Z's favored environment for interesting and have fun, and introduce representative arrangement as input to information and cognitive endeavor, from the time to time being the only motivation of understanding, and the digital game-based learning presented by Prensky in 2001 encouraged the arrangement to be entertaining from side to side the union of strict instruction and intelligently environment in advanced instruction, sports competition by utilizing environment portrayal to create good-looking educator pleased by Cerezo during 2016. And the instructive information mining by Romero Ventura and Baker in 2010 is concerned with creating inquiry about the applying the computerized method to take note designs with the expansive compilation of educator information. And why I conducted this kind of study in our current setup during the 2019, most of the public school are in need of empowering room for learning, and the students have this destitute acts in noteworthy considering and analyze. Instructors have a trouble in dealing with as well as colossal number of course measure per segments, and the impact of this to the students is their focus is distracted to a few other things. And so those on the performance of the student get a lower grade. So when it comes to the objective, to determine the development of the student investigation in a web-based intelligent tutoring system in a particular subject, which is Automata, to decide the improvement of the student execution analysis in the web-based intelligent tutoring framework, and make a particular decision that the evaluation of the students with respect to the framework in the requirements of functional suitability, performance competence or efficacy, suitability, and reliability. And to decide the vital difference on the evaluation of users in the difference to evaluation of users within the improvement of the students' performance in the web-based intelligent tutoring system. So when it comes to the materials and methods. To advance evaluate a client acknowledgement, a descriptive research device was valuable utilizing the examination research strategy in meeting data. The ponder makes utilize of this strategy with administration of its conclusion survey because it's accommodating in telling the kind of large number of people and subsequently weighing up huge case gets be additional sensible. In this way, making comes about to factually essential indeed needed when analyzing various factors, and descriptive formative implies of research is taken on to achieve the point. And the expectation of this research is to create insight, almost perspective of the improvement of the student performance analysis in the web-based intelligent tutoring schemes in Automata with regards to the framework in terms of functional suitability, performance efficiency, usability, reliability, security, maintainability, and its portability. And the purposive testing method was utilized to choose 2 segments complied of the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science student taking up the subject automata and language theory and information technology specialist. The respondents of this study were the undergraduate of the university from 2 segments of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, included the IT specialist to assess the system and the client of the framework punctuality within the College of Information Technology and Computer Studies. And the survey makes up 2 parts. One of the part is we have the researchers conducted the study may be a pre-assessment to distinguish the circumstance of the study in learning automata and the dialect hypothesis. The analyst considered in taking after the input parameters, teaching approaches. We have the learning environment resources, and we have the self-evaluation. And among the 8 questions are given within the category of teaching approaches, such as stimulated interest within the subject, classroom management, lecturer preparedness, class participation, and instructors' depth knowledge in the subject. Instructors' eagerness and interest in instructional strategy, instructors' strategy to challenge the student to participate, and the implementation of English-only policy. In the learning environment, with regards to the resources and references, learning environment and resources in the student utilize and or listen to the English language both inside and outside of the school, so that the student attempted to talk in English when it comes discussing the lesson in automata, particularly in clarifying a certain illustration within the lesson. Then learning environment with regards to the references, the students favored references or resources in learning the automata and language theory. And the choices were as takes after tuning into their instructors, watching tutorials in video graph form, teaching by the teachers, pursuing a book and or PDF files accessible on the net and books. And the student appraised the choices as tuning in the observing video tutorials, which have the most noteworthy number taken after the educating and final perusing from books and PDF records. And the self-evaluation for the student is additionally included, since it has to evaluate their learning with regards to the subject matter. And in this viewpoint, nearly all of the students can completely clarify an issue in automata without the help of any references. Okay, so for the results and discussion, so the table appears the student's level of execution, sometimes recently on the pre-test and after the post-test, the employment of the intelligent tutoring scheme in automata in terms of teaching approaches, learning environment, and self-assessment. It depicts that the comes about utilizing the conventional way of educating approach with 75.55% mean, it rose to 8.64% after utilizing the intelligent tutoring framework, since it included a new method of instructing approaches through the innovation. Within the learning environment, through instructing approaches through innovation, employing a conventional classroom setup with a normal of 76% and goes up to 9.35% after utilizing the integrated framework, since the student catches their attention on the extra instructing technique to the educators within the learning environment based on the self-assessment of the student from the conventional setup. It has 72.78%. After the post-test was done, it rose into the normal mean of 9.71% since the student experienced the modern incorporates a positive impact of utilizing innovation integrated to the teaching methodology of the teacher. And the analysts have also gathered and analyzed the procured information in totally different categories, such as execution by gender and programs. The taking after the table illustrates a few curiously truths that the rate of advancement at almost a few of the students learning per category. It authorized contrast between the bunch of students who took the pre-test and the post-test. And on the table portrays female student level on the level of performance sometime recently on the pre-test with by the large mean of 73.93 and after the post-test with a generally mean of 84.08. So the utilization of the intelligent tutoring scheme in Automata in terms of teaching approach, learning environment, and self-assessment. And looking to the table over, the performance of the male student appears more noteworthy improvement within the teaching approach module with a distinction of 9.54% adjusted from the pre-test to post-test contrasted to females with 8.96%. Whereas female has been an overall enhancement of 10.15% from the pre-test to post-test beneath the three categories. So the male students' level of execution sometime recently on the pre-test with by the large mean of 74.70 and after the post-test with generally mean of 83.59, the utilize of the intelligent tutoring scheme in terms of teaching approach, learning environment, and self-assessment. So the performance of the female student appears more prominent improvement within the three categories module in an increment of 10.15% and commencing the pre-test to post-test compared to males, whereas an overall advancement of 8.89% from the pre-test to post-test beneath the three categories for males. And for the Table 3 demonstrate the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science students' level of performance before the pre-test and after the post-test. So the utilization of the intelligent tutoring scheme in terms of teaching approach, learning environment, and self-assessment within the increment of 8.78%, within the teaching approach with 7.7% within the learning environment, and move forward utilizing the innovative approach within a sensational increment of 11.91% on the student self-assessment, and they can do the study on their claim using the learning apparatuses, demonstrate to be successful within the study. And between the pre-test and post-test, by the large enhancement, change steadily by 9.47% beneath the three categories, which have been a great beginning in joining such learning apparatuses into teaching approach. And for the table 4, the product put forwards into the null hypothesis is rejected and recognized the alternative hypothesis in z-value are 3.87879. Hence, the analysts have measurably noteworthy proof to dismiss the invalid speculation and say that there's a divergence among the result of the pre-test and the post-test to the conservative control and instructional exercise. Bunches to the analysts have to assemble and analyze the acquiring information in completely different categories such as execution by a particular gender. And taking after table outlines a few curiously realities and a rate of enhancement, almost a few of the students learning per category. It consents contrast between the gather of the student who took the pre-test and the post-test in all components. And for the figure appears the diverse criteria of the framework acceptance from the IT specialist. Functional suitability is evaluated as 4.47, which implies the framework gives capacities that meet express and inferred needs when utilized beneath indicated conditions. With respect to performance efficiency, evaluated of 4.39, which is speak to the execution relative to the number of assets utilized beneath express condition, and to the usability evaluated 4.47, which demonstrate that the item or framework can be used by indicated clients to attain indicated objectives with effectiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction in specified setting of utilization. Reliability of 4.42. Component performs indicated capacities beneath conditions for an indicated period of time. For the security, it has a 4.82, and it appears the data and information so that the people or other items or framework have the degree to information get to fitting into their sorts and level of authorization. And the maintainability is evaluated as 4.92, speaks that the adequacy and proficiency with which an item or framework can be adjusted to progress it, rectify it, or adjust to changes within the environment and prerequisites. And portability is appraised at 5. The degree of adequacy and proficiency within the framework or component can be exchanged from one equipment program or other operational or utilization environment to another. And the final 3 criteria have the most elevated approval, which is security, viability, and innovative. A specific framework of to versatile to different hardware and simple to preserve its capacities information have to secured at all times. And for the information examination, the researcher conducted a post-test for the student as a user and an IT expert for the acknowledgement of the framework, typically to distinguish the contrast of the result of the pre-assessment and post-assessment, to demonstrate the hypothesis testing, which is there a critical contrast utilizing the conventional way of teaching automata and language theory. And to have the conclusion, so the study solve the express issues in the chapter 1, which is to demonstrate whether there's a noteworthiness or not between the result of the pre-assessment and post-assessment of the traditional and intelligent tutoring scheme. So the respondents of the study are the students under the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science program and have experienced the pre-test and the post-test under conventional intelligent tutoring scheme utilizing the learning apparatuses. And based on this speculation, testing utilizing, there's a critical contrast between the result of the pre-assessment, post-assessment of the conventional and the intelligent tutoring scheme, since the Z of 3.879, it is more prominent than 1.645. Hence, the analysis have measurably critical proof to dismiss the null hypothesis. And the following goals to meet to utilize as an alternative device for learning can be connected to the educating strategy of the instructors. And the framework to points to analyze the execution of the students within the specific course in a particular subject, which is automata. So the program can progress the motivational viewpoint of the student through showing video tutorials provided per theme within the directions apparatuses. And the elective learning, moreover, advances the proceeded leveraging of the mixed learning setting. The confront up to be to stay up by implies of the learners rising inclination. For the prospect upgrade in the information tool, So we have the following conclusion. The result of the study infers the learning apparatuses can be executed within the teaching methodology. We have the student makes strides in his basic considering the analytical capability in utilizing the learning tool for them to progress their performance within the particular course. And the instructors presently can have an elective way of giving assignments to the students due to the huge number of classes. And since the student these days, it's more centered in utilizing such gadgets and different strategies or stages in learning. The understudy or the student can utilize the learning apparatuses in such convenient way to end up more beneficial to move forward their learning. And thank you for listening.
Right, thank you as well, Ms. Christian, for your very technical paper.
Okay.
Very detailed. I think I've looked into so many aspects in terms to teaching using Automata. It's something new to me actually. So I do find it quite complicated actually. But then I think you know the area better. So let's open it up to maybe to any of the members of the floor if they have any questions, any views, any suggestions. I guess there's none. So Dr. Macaraig, how do we end the session?
Okay. Well, since this is the last presentation, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of Suriyate Teachers College, Rangsit University, to say thank you all for your participation, and especially all the chairpersons, Dr. Robina, Dr. Lu Shimin, and you yourself, Dr. Shamini.
Okay.
And we wish you every success in your future endeavor. And we hope to, of course, to see you again next year in our Rangsit University Conference 2023. And finally, we have one announcement in particular for all the presenters who are looking forward to the conference proceedings. So you can keep checking on our university website as on the May 10th, the conference proceeding will be published. That's what we were told. Okay.
Shall we have a photo taken as a group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So our secretary, okay.
Metavi. Okay, the host. So everyone can say cheers or smile. Okay.
Okay, got like so many pictures right now. Okay.
Done. Done.
Right?
Metavi. Okay. All right. So hope to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye-bye.
Bye from Bangkok.
Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Dr. Robina, Dr. Lu.
Thank you.